Hello to you. You are watching Poland Daily Culture, and we're talking about poetry and reading poetry as well for you, Polish one in English translation, which I'm always amazed that someone puts so much effort and energy into translating something from Polish to English, because it requires so much work and so much talent as well. With me in the studio is Julia Wilde, who is a translator herself and also a poet, starting and writing her own pieces of literature and poems. And Julia, you are also a person who professionally analyzes literature, because you're a PhD student of English literature, but of course it puts you in such a comfortable position, and also for us, that you know both Polish literature and foreign one. And you were explaining to us in the previous episodes how Tuwim was inspired by Whitman and what he took from him, and how the passion of nature and life itself is exposed in both of the poetries, and with Tuwim as well. So, and you read to us the part of the poem
Song of Myself
of Whitman.
Yes.
Yes, and right now you prepared something which shows us exact a similarity between and connection between those two writers. Yes?
Yes, exactly, right. So, as we could hear, the rhythm is completely different in Whitman and in Tuwim. But, well, first of all, the title of the volume is Leaves of Grass. And it refers to people who are like leaves of grass, but they create this, one great nation, but they are numerous, but unique and individuals. So it's
interesting, but it's not the first time and the only one when Tuwim actually, instead of describing directly people, he's describing nature. Even his the longest poem, so Polish Flowers, starts about how the bouquets are created.
That's true, that's very true, yes.
And he compares a lot like people to flowers, and flowers which are in a different parts, how people live in Warsaw and Poland, which the countryside. And so he definitely had some a soft spot for flowers.
Yes, undoubtedly, and undoubtedly he was inspired by the idea of Whitman that people are like those leaves of grass, right? And and he actually, as a mature poet, he also writes a poem titled Grass. So we have no doubts where he takes it from.
So let's hear too.
So it was translated by Lawrence Davis. Grass. Grass, grass up to my knees. Grow up to the sky so that there won't seem to be any you or I. So that I will turn all green and blossom to my bones, so that my words won't come between your freshness and my own. So that for the two of us there will be one name, either for both of us grass or both of us Tuwim. So as you can see, he identifies with the grass almost. He wants to merge with it. He wants to become one, either become the grass himself, so to speak, to unite with the grass, with the nature, or make the grass his own poetic creation, right?
Alter ego,
yes, almost.
And he names with the same name.
Yes.
Well, interesting. So he needed definitely have the sensitivity of nature and everything what surrounded him, but he also was when it comes to his because he was not, I would say, politically undeveloped. Of course, he had strong opinions, and we know he was, of course, against the Nazis, but he was a pacifist himself.
Yes.
So I would say, against all the kind of ways, the wars and horrors of war, which he's seen himself during the World War II. So there is a beautiful poem of him, The Common Man, which also is beautifully and fully translated. And this time I would like to read a little bit to you. The Common Man by Julian Tuwim. When plastered billboards scream of slogans, fight for your country, go to battle. When media sprint assaults your senses, support our leaders, shakes and rattle. And fools who don't know any better believe the old eternal lie that we must march and shoot and kill, murder and burn and bomb and grill. When press begins to battle cry that nation needs to unify and for your country you must die, dear brainwashed friend, my neighbor dear, brother from this or other nation, know that the cries of anger, fear are nothing but manipulation. And we will finish here. But I'm even surprised that this poem is not used by all the pacifists and other peace organizations, because it very much points, of course, the situation of a, I would say, common person who doesn't want to be used by huge powers all over the world to start the battle and certify it for something which he doesn't actually unify himself with. And Tuwim, as a person, as a member of a society, was in this position of pro-living and creating, and very much against destruction and death, which were surrounding him all over, especially during the World War II. But what is interesting, Tuwim, even though he emigrated during the war to France and lived abroad for some time, he came back after the war, and he died eventually in Zakopane.
Yes.
So Zakopane, which is in the mountains, and it was also a home place for many other artists during the time, wasn't it?
Yes, like Witkacy or Szymanowski, right.
So that's where Tuwim died, and you can visit his grave there in Zakopane. But of course, he still lives in his poems, and those are the most beautiful. Just to wrap up the few other verses of The Common Man. By fat cats, kings who covet riches and feed off your sweat and blood the leeches. When called to arms, engulf the land, it means that somewhere oil was found. Shooting black gold from underground, it means they found a sneaky way to make more money, grab more gold. But it is not what you are told. And if you want to know how this poem ends, go and check yourself. And thank you very much for watching Poland Daily Culture.